Gotta let this song play, boys. Gotta let it play, man.
I'm over it already.
Coming in hot.
Gotta let it play,
I'm already over it.
Coming in hot.
Oklahoma gets a win. We get that.
Hold on, here's the best part. Dun, 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 dun. All right, beautiful.
Were those air drums? Did I see air drums just now?
Had to go with it today.
Yeah.
You know, we all saw it. Everybody watched it. Prime time. Me and Kite were sitting at B-Dubs watching the beatdown from Boomer Sooner. It was a defensive juggernaut on display. And listen, you know, what, Michigan ranked 15. Oklahoma was 18 at the time. Oklahoma goes in to the Palace on the Prairie, a night game. It was a great atmosphere, great college football atmosphere, and basically puts the clamps on the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, I don't know what else to say, boys, but listen, I don't know. I know I'm a homer because I'm an Oklahoma fan, even though I've never been to Oklahoma. John Mateer is good, man. John Mateer, right now, I think.
Listen,
I'm going to put it out there. Heisman front runner.
Go ahead, Malt.
Go ahead, Coach.
Heisman. This is the Here we go.
Front runner as of right now.
Stop. I'm going to tell you right now. I am, Coach. I'm slightly concerned about your journalistic integrity right now, just plummeting with our audience. Okay, I'm gonna listen. Here's the deal. I said on here last week. I will admit it. I'll wear it. And I thought Michigan was going to tee off on Oklahoma. I could not have been more. I could not have been more wrong. I will. Having said that, can we look at this kind of like for what it is? Okay, we're gonna anoint Mateer as the Heisman frontrunner after this game. He played a very good game. I wouldn't even say great, very good. He ran the ball well, quarterback runs. I thought throwing the ball was very good in spurts and then shoddy in spurts. I mean, he had some errant throws. He had an interception. He had an RPO that he pulled him through at the back of a guy blocking. Z, we watched the game. There was like times where your face was in your hands. So, I mean, we're going to sit like, as far as Heisman frontrunner, there's guys within his own conference that I think are head and shoulders better than him. Okay.
I can understand. You can say who's better than. But who has performed in the first 2 weeks of college football and put his team on the map? And listen, it's not just me saying this. This is the college football world.
Right. And the college football world loves a great quote. Like, listen, if we're being honest, if Texas beats Ohio State, like, they're going to try and usher Arch Manning into the NFL before the season's even over. It's just that's what they like to do. I mean, if you sit back, if you sit back and you take a look at Lenoris Sellers, right, and you take a look at Taylor Green, two guys in the same conference, again, they don't have like a marquee win against like a Michigan, but these are guys who the teams that are put in front of them, they're destroying. They're throwing the ball, they're running the ball, they look great. So again, I will tip my cap to Mateer, to Oklahoma. Offensively, I thought they looked pretty good. Defensively, they look good. They like Brent Venables made a freshman quarterback look like a freshman. I mean, that's what everybody's just. That's what it was. It was a freshman quarterback played like a freshman quarterback, and he went up against a very good defensive coach. But Z, you and I said this. If we're just going to be honest here, we're not just going to homer Oklahoma all day. Michigan had some opportunities, and had they
listen, I'm not saying they didn't. My point is this: Michigan was a 5, and it wasn't more. How was it? What was the line? 5.5 points coming.
5.5. Yeah.
5.5 points underdog at home, and guess what? They dominated them. Michigan had one offensive play. They had one big run on a great formation that, listen, we said it. Why didn't they go back to? I mean, we saw the gaps open.
If the offensive coordinator, who is it, Chip Lindsey, if he decided to live in the bigger sets, right? 22 personnel, 13 personnel, gap scheme stuff, right? It was pretty much exclusively gap scheme runs. I don't know if Michigan wins. I think the outcome of the game is very different because I think, Oklahoma might be having to throw the ball a little more and not be able to just let Mateer run the ball whenever he wanted to. Again, they won.
You're talking, but this is I'm going to give you my quote, and I've said it to you before. If my sister had balls, she'd be my brother. Okay. Don't give me the ifs. If the quarterback did this, if the coach did that, they played the game. That was the best they had at that time. Oklahoma won the game. John Mateer has thrown for close to 700 yards in 2 games. Right. And he has, listen, some of those running decisions that he made, the cuts that he made, me and you watched that. We watched a very, very good defense get juked out by John Mateer a lot of the times. Because of the way he ran. So you know what? He was very good. You could say Bryce Underwood is good. But where is the quarterback run game for Michigan? Part of the team being good is the coaches taking their players and putting them in the best positions to win. And guess what? Oklahoma did that better than Michigan did to date. So you know what? That's what happened, man. And don't give me all the ish if they did this, if they did that. You know what? Like I said, if my sister had balls, she'd be my brother, and I don't want to hear it. Oklahoma dominated the game. Oklahoma stock rose big time in this game.
Heisman frontrunner and the words master. I read it. I read an email. I'm not a snitch. I'm not going to name names who it was sent by, but his initials rhyme with Lenzadatowicz. You use the word masterpiece. It's a little early for some of this stuff.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Good. A little early, Z.
Listen, I told you. Brent Venables is a defensive mastermind. He's very good at it. When he has the horses that he needs, the guy can put up a great game plan. And listen, you're seeing it from Oklahoma. You're seeing it. So that's all I'm going to tell you. And guess what? I am a homer. I'm making it like that. But you know what? John Mateer, you could see every freaking college football thing that I watched and talked about. If his last name was John Manning, guess what? This wouldn't even be a conversation of who's the Heisman frontrunner right now, and you know that.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So we're anointing a guy just because his name is Manning and he hasn't shown us anything. Sorry, man.
But you know what? He didn't anoint himself, so we got to give him a little slack for that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What do you mean anoint himself? John Mateer didn't anoint himself.
No, you're anointing.
He just went out there and balled.
You're anointing him after one game against the. How good was Michigan, dude?
I don't know. Everybody else thought they were good.
Did they play good?
Dude, when you're a 5.5 point underdog at home, the other team is supposed to beat you.
Okay.
Let's be honest, right? And then for me, also coming up next week, I know it's not a powerhouse, but I get to see my Sooners in live for the first time ever coming up here to Temple. So I'm going to go over to the link in Philadelphia. Not a great place to go when you're a Giant fan, but I get to go to their link and watch the Boomer Sooner take on the Temple Owls. I will be 5 rows behind a Sooner bench, cheering those guys on like crazy.
Oh, 5 rows?
5 rows behind the bench, baby.
50-yard line?
I think I'd rather get
30-yard line. 30-yard line. Didn't get the 50s, but I'm 30.
Can't get better than that, though.
Listen, I'll take it, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's we can move on from there. Even though maybe we should just talk the whole show about it, but we'll go on. All right, next game on the docket last week that we thought was a pretty good game, and it turned out being we thought it was going to be good, and it turned out being a great game, was Baylor and SMU.
Yep.
Crazy game. Momentum went back and forth. Baylor down late against SMU, playoff team from last year, and they clawed their way back. Quarterback for Baylor, Sawyer Robertson, was dynamic, throwing for 440 with 3 TDs and had a nice 20-yard strike in double OT to win the game. So very impressed by him. Guys, anything you want to add to that game?
Yeah, the game was awesome. Like
all way back and forth.
Two teams from the great state of Texas. You're going to get great football out of them. It's what they do there. I think getting a win this was a amazing win for a lot of reasons, right? To get a win like they got in terms of having to claw at the end of the game, fight, persevere, the whole thing, to get that win early on in the season is huge, because now in the back of their mind moving forward, if they ever face adversity, especially late in the game, I feel like these guys are going to draw on that, and they're going to say, hey guys, you know what we can do? Stick together.
Yeah, we've been here before. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like getting a win, a late game comeback, overtime type, persevering type win early on in the season is huge.
Yep.
The other thing, Z, is I think you can speak to this. When you early on in a year, especially in today's NCAA, with rules being what they are in terms of like hours allowed and full pads and live work and stuff like that, to have to go into a double, and I know it's college overtime, but go into a double overtime game only in week 2 is like a huge mental and physical test, because there's a certain amount of getting in football shape that you get from playing football. And I think that strength and conditioning, as advanced as it is, these guys, there is a pitch count on the amount of live work and time you can spend with your team. So I don't know if in week 2, you're really in, a lot of guys are in full game, full go, live reps shape, and to have to persevere into 2 overtimes and pull out a win, I thought was pretty big. It was pretty big time.
Yeah. I mean, I thought SMU was the better team for 3.5 quarters. They just couldn't close it. They were going for a 13-game winning streak Baylor had on SMU, dating the last time they won was 1986, and they couldn't finish the job.
Wow.
Baylor takes a 14 consecutive winning streak.
That's wild.
Sawyer Robinson, 3rd consecutive 400-yard passing game, from now the 4th Big 12 QB in the last 15 years, joining Mahomes, RG3, and Brandon Weeden.
That's amazing. And Mateer's the Heisman frontrunner. It's wild. Kid must be awesome. Also too,
he put on a show though. Sawyer.
He put on a show, and SM, you watch the game. SMU had some huge plays early on in the game. From the opening kickoff, their first offensive drive, I love their offense. The tempo, everything. They pose huge challenges to defenses, but early on in the game, SMU was like, whoa. Baylor hung in there, man. I mean, that was something else.
Now listen, this is I look at it as a classic, old school Big 12 battle. You know, it's it's a lot of, listen, it's the Big 12, which I've watched for years, watched Oklahoma dominate it. It's a shootout league. Big 12 football, we talk about when we coach in high school football, certain divisions we were in, we're in the Big 12. We're going to have to outscore people. We're going to have to get stops here and there whenever we can. But, I mean, SMU's Preston Stone, man. The guy, he threw for 4 touchdowns. And they're constantly late game sacks, stall drives, and then that kicker, for Baylor in overtime, nailed that the 41-yard field goal in overtime, and then the defense sealed it for them. So I think Baylor, SMU being that playoff team from last year, Baylor kind of got a win against a ranked opponent, and took a real hammer to SMU's playoff hopes. And Baylor had a tough loss the week before. So they came back, and you know what? They've kind of put themselves in that driver's seat.
100%.
All right, next game we're going to talk about, which I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit right here, because I put them on upset alert. I told you guys this last week. But the boys from South Florida Bulls going up into Gainesville, being a massive 21-point underdog to Florida Gators. And I know our boy Bobbles, Coach Bobbles, is not happy being
Coach
a big
Evan Bobbles
Gators
is
fan.
beside himself right now.
Yes, he is. So, but South Florida going in there. What's that?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
he was a UF.
Die
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. So, and listen, South Florida quarterback Byron Brown, led the Bulls, tossing that late TD in the game, managing the clock to perfection, invaded the swamp and all that kind of, hoopla, home game there at the swamp. And basically, those schools are only separated. I mean, I've gone down there where my daughter going to school down there. Their schools are separated by an hour and a half. They're close in Florida. And you know what? Like South Florida has put themselves. I mean, listen, next weekend, they got a little tough. They're going to be traveling to Miami. I think so. They're putting themselves in a position to be the team in Florida. That they
Got to be the
Florida.
state champ, man. Got to be the state champ before you get anything else.
Being the state champs in Florida is pretty big, man. I mean, play with the football they have in Florida. But one thing in this game I'm going to talk about. If you guys want to talk about other things, but I just can't believe what I saw in this game out of Florida D lineman Brendan Beck. And what I mean is this guy, fresh off of what happened on Thursday night with Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott spitting in his face right in front of the official, this guy spit in the face of it's a Jersey Shore kid, Cole Skinner, Point Borough O-lineman, who's now playing for South Florida. His dad, worked at brick schools for years, know him very good, John Skinner. So good for the Shore kid. Whatever happened, who knows? But Cole Skinner and Brendan Britt were in each other's face, and Brendan Britt spits on him right in front of the official, extends a drive, gives South Florida life to go down the field and make a game-winning play. What are you doing, Brendan Brett? Did you just learn what happened? Explain it. Malta, you are the most intense player of any kid I've ever coached in my life. And I'm going to say, I don't know if you've ever done that, Malt. I know you. Listen, you are one of those kids that
Plead the fifth,
likes
Malt.
to ride the line, but I never really seen you go over it. But what is going through a guy's head with that time, Malt?
I think he's just, I don't know. I think I don't know. I've never done it. I've done a lot of crazy things. I've never done that.
Shocker.
I've never done that, but I don't know. I mean, right before that, too, you have a pass interference. So you just gave up 15, and now you're just giving up 15 more, and you're getting – so it's bad.
This is my issue with the whole thing. You ready? It's like you have pads on. You are an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman who is lining up directly in front of you. If you say or do something to me,
we know how it handles it.
I will wait for the next snap. And regardless of
I'll
what
be
the
right
play
back.
call
Yes.
Exactly. Regardless of what the next play call is, coach, sorry if I have to pull to the right. Sorry if I have to pull to the left. I'll get you back next play, but right now I got to dive at this kid's knee. You know what I mean? Like, you have an opportunity within the game of football to commit legal violence against this individual. But no, we're going to walk over directly in front of the ref and spit on him and get thrown out. I question the mental capacity of some of these guys. Do you follow what I'm saying? Jalen Carter, it's like there's no scenario where the Eagles play the entire game and he doesn't get to put his hands on Dak Prescott. You follow what I'm saying? It's wild to me.
I know.
What are you
I don't
doing?
get it. I don't get it, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
And listen, I've lost my cool in games, especially in college. I think I lost my cool a little more in college. Yeah, sometimes. But I mean, spitting. I mean, listen, I've swung, I've done that, but I've never. The spitting part looks like, I don't know. I don't.
That's the worst thing you can do to a person. You walk up and spit in another man's face, like what? That is.
I'm gonna punch you
on par with the worst thing you could do to somebody.
I'm gonna punch you right.
But I know. I mean, it's just like with every camera, it's in HD. You can see the spit. You can probably see the bubbles in the spit. You can see what color it is. You could. I mean, it doesn't. It's just doesn't make sense.
You know what?
And you know what?
And then I tip my cat. Like the next play, they ran the ball right over the backup. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. I question. This is a game where you are going to scrap with that individual for the remainder of the game. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And listen, Florida, Billy Napier, I mean, listen, the hot seat is getting hot.
Can I just
it is like it's on the third button on your car in the middle of the summer. The hot seat's getting hot on Billy Napier. And I always thought he was a good coach. But you know what? The team, 11 penalties for 103 yards, the spitting incident. There's a little bit of undiscipline going on there. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, man.
Florida, the last 5 seasons. Okay, 2024. You got 8-5, 5-7, 6-7, 5-6, 8-4. So like
they're
2 winning seasons in there. 2020 was Mullen. You know what I mean? But Napier has good coach, but has struggled at a team that's like, listen, they love their football. University of Florida Gators. They are through different generations have always been a very competitive, very proud team, playing a very tough conference, always challenging for a championship, for a big bowl game, and just have not really been themselves since he's been there. Again, go back a long time ago, they were great. I just remember, I think of the Tim Tebow team, Pouncey, Percy Harvin, Tim Tebow. They're in Florida is just not Florida like that. You know what I mean? Like, I know this was a big upset, but to me, it's like, I think Florida, there's two words that will solve the problems in Florida. And I know what they are. Do you want to hear what they are? Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer.
Listen, I'm sorry.
Meyer.
I can't even. Here's my Jar. Nowadays, I don't think this is the thing that we have to see how this goes in the future. But I truly believe the kids don't care about the coach. All they care about is the money. And when you heard that from the greatest to ever do it, from Nick Saban, one of the reasons why he stepped down, and we mentioned it last week, all these things that we know, what we know of college football, and what we know of the history and the blue bloods, I guess you could say, of college football. Everything's gonna reshape. It's gonna reshape because the money is all that matters, and the teams that can bring in the most and bring in the best players are going to be the better teams. And Malt, you got the shirt on right there, and they are an epitome of having an unlimited resource of funds. Baby. And listen, Coach Gundy over at Oklahoma State decided to open up his mouth. And honestly, the players even said it. The quarterback even said it. Don't talk trash to our guys. And you know what? They could have put 100 on them if they wanted
the scoreboard. That's what he said.
I texted you guys. They're going to score 100. And that's what's going to happen. That's what college football is. Different teams are going to take shape. The money backers are going to back the teams, and those teams are going to win. It's how it's going to work nowadays, man.
You're right.
So this is why we need to have some type of rules, or I shouldn't say it's going to take over, but money rules the world, and I don't blame these kids for taking everything they can within the rules that they're allowed to play with. But we got to have contracts. We got to have all these things just to be able to make it. It's kind of like with the NFL. You have teams like Green Bay who, because we have salary cap and revenue sharing, they're able to compete with everybody else in the league. If it was all based on money, then let's be honest. The Cowboys and the Giants and the LA teams would all win. That's what would happen. The team with the most money, But it's not like it's got to change a little bit, But it's here and it's not going anywhere. But it's got to get a little. I guess we got to have some better rules.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I thought maybe Florida overlooked this game because they got LSU, Miami, and Texas as their next 3 games. So, maybe they saw it. They were like, this is little brother. We're just going to beat them up. And that was not the case. But USF's defense looks insane.
They're awesome.
Over the place.
Yep.
Absolutely insane. And I don't know. I mean, Florida's got to bounce back because their schedule does not get easier. And I think they're doomed.
Hey, listen,
That's what they're
we're living
used
in the
to.
SEC.
That's what,
Man.
like, I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. And no one ever thought of them as the prey. Everybody used to think of them as the predator.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
now it's like poor Florida. I honestly, I don't know. Watch them. Are they that good? I mean, I don't know.
Well, Lagaway
We'll see in the weeks to come.
This stud Lagaway is supposed to be.
Yeah, so is Arch Manning.
Oh, here we go.
Nah.
All right, I'll move on here to Mississippi State. Nice upset over Arizona State. I think that the Sun Devils were at the time last week ranked number 12 in the polls, and Stark Vegas out there in Mississippi, crazy place. And Arizona State comes in there again, losing some guys off their team last year, but also with a solid group of returners coming back. And we all know that what Cam Scatterboo was to that team, and he's a dude. And me and Malt being Giant fans, watched him do some nice blocking, and basically had one of the best. I guess it was a swing pass for like 2 or 3 yards, breaking like so many tackles. I mean, he's impressive. The kid's an animal, but I mean, shocking home upset. Favored. ASU was favored. I think about over 10 points. And, Mississippi State quarterback Blake Shepard threw for 310. But at the end, he threw that nice bomb. The dagger was that 58-yard touchdown pass with 30 seconds left. And, the Bulldogs forcing some turnovers and that fumble recovery inside their own 10-yard line. So Mississippi State, very good, looking pretty tough. What do you guys think about what happened with that?
I got a good one for you guys. You ready? If you knew this before the game, the winning team, 30 carries for 66 yards. That's the winning team. The losing team, 51 carries for 251 yards. That kind of tells the story of the game a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that's a wild stat.
They came out. They came out to us.
Go ahead, Malt.
They came out to 17-0 Mississippi State. They came out hot. Everything was flowing. They absolutely dominated ASU, and in the second half, ASU just absolutely flipped the script. I guess went to the locker room, made some adjustments, and that was that. Like they came back, scored 20 unanswered points on offense. I mean, I personally think that the coach cost them the game. I mean, it's a 17-7 game at the 1-yard line. A minute and 38. You just got stuffed 3 times. Like, go for it. If you don't go for it, you get it at the 1. You got to trust your defense regardless. So make the plays. And so I got a question for you, Z, here as a coach. As a head coach, what would you do in this scenario?
Yeah, so the scenario was at the time. What was that score again at the time?
17-17 with a minute and 38 left at the 1.
That's right. 17-17, minute 38 left, first and goal inside.
It was at the 3, and then they got stuck.
At the 3. Okay, so you guys know if I'm coaching, I'm going to an offense I like to call bear, and we are going to snap the ball to our best player, and we are going to put as many tight ends and H-backs and linemen. Our best blockers are going to be on the field with one dude out wide that I'm going to try to see if we can get a matchup that we like, and we are going to try to test.
Like Michigan should have done to Oklahoma.
Shut up.
Hey, listen. Poor coaching goes with a bad team. What are you going to do? Anyway, that is how I'm going to approach that situation. But I'm going to tell you this. If it's first and goal and it's first down, we don't get it. Second down, we don't get it. Third down, we don't get it. The definition of insanity is what?
Doing the same thing over and over again.
Doing it again.
A different result.
So I have to understand, for me, do I have faith in my kicker? And if I do, I probably kick it. If I don't, I go for it again. Because right there, you're taking the lead. You are taking the lead. And as much as I want to score a touchdown and I want to basically, that's my way of trying to punch the opposing coach in the face by trying to run that offense. And I would possibly, at that point, I would begrudgingly throw my kicking team out there. I mean, that's what I would probably do because, again, the 3 pass plays we didn't get, which I think that's a big telling thing right there. You know, as an offense, you're going to be like, Coach, you don't have faith in this. I saw it. Listen, I had faith in you for the first 3 downs. And you know what? We didn't get it done. So that's what I would kind of do right there.
You'd begrudgingly put your kicking team out there, and then your O-line coach would have to hide from you on the sideline.
Yeah, definitely. I would be looking at somebody with, a stare and a look. Like I would be upset. And the kids would be coming off the field after the field goal. And if they open their mouth and say anything about the field goal team coming out there, I think there would be hell to pay later after that game.
I think that's a fair assessment, Malt.
Yeah.
I was pretty honest right there, I think. What do you think, guys?
Much more honest than the assessment of Oklahoma earlier in the broadcast. Let's go ahead and move on.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, got to that game. Okay. Now we're going to touch on to the Iowa State-Iowa battle.
Die-Hawk, baby.
Listen.
Die-Hawk.
Yeah. The Cy-Hawk rivalry. This game, touchdowns at a premium, of course. And especially with Iowa. I tell you, I'm impressed. And I say it all the time by the Iowa State coaching staff and, what they're able to do. But, you got Iowa with Cade McNamara coming over from Michigan, a highly recruited quarterback. And you think, okay, we're going to put up some points. But does something happen when guys put on that Iowa uniform that just prevents them from getting into the end zone? Like, I don't understand with that team. Hayden is an awesome coach. There's so many good things about that team, what they do and what they stand for. And some of the guys that have come out of that program, some great linemen, tight ends. You got some of the best blockers in the NFL come out of the Iowa program. You know?
They when you think of Iowa, now even Iowa State too, but it's gritty, hard-nosed, and I just look at it like this, having watched a lot of big-time Big Ten teams go there and have to play them. They have a loss or two. No one's really thinking they're going to win any type of championship or be in a running for it. They play spoiler every season for the most part to a very well-coached, powerful, talented team, and they do it with their defense. And they just, again, it's always going to be a defensive show with that team. And it was again, you know what I mean? They just always play tough, hard-nosed D. I just feel like, especially like making some plays in the backfield, I felt like Iowa State's defense was just a little bit more explosive. They rallied to the ball. They made some plays when they needed to. But again, the great deep, a lot of these games are just, this guy throws for 400, this guy throws for 300, and they're like shootouts and track meets and stuff. This is just like a slugfest. You needed a little change of pace every once in a while. You know what I mean?
This is where the X and the O's are gonna pay off.
Yeah,
like this. But the
Scrappy
streak ends,
though, man.
The
listen. Can we just be honest? Cy-Hawk. Is there possibly the best name for a rivalry game?
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The streak ends.
And what was that about you? You talked that last week, Mark.
Hit on that. I hit the live money line on Iowa State minus 120. So the spread hit though for the mush. The mush hit the spread.
Only game he won. I genuinely believe that.
It's right.
But if we're being honest, we got to bring this up because I don't think people listening have any idea. This guy at the end of the night, I in the group text, it's like, dude, what games did you win? Please tell me. And it was 2 things. It was Iowa covered, and then according to him, in 10 seconds before kickoff, he took Oklahoma. Cole told me 5 seconds before kickoff, Mateer's good. Come on, dude. This guy has won 1 game, and it wasn't even an outright win. It was Iowa covered in 2 weeks. This is wild.
The powers, like we say,
crazy.
Man, they are strong. The force is definitely against him in a strong way.
100%. And we got to keep an eye on this tactic of him claiming to have changed his team 5 seconds before kickoff. I just feel like we're going to see more and more of it as the season goes on.
Yeah. Oh, that's a gimme right
typical.
there. I mean, you can't trust yourself. I mean, definitely.
No.
All right. So hey, after week 2, we're gonna go with some would you rather, our 5 would you rather questions here, boys. I'm gonna fire them at you. Let's get your opinion on these over here. All right, here we go. Would you rather be South Florida knocking off Florida in the swamp, back-to-back ranked wins, or Mississippi State stealing the win and at the buzzer over the Arizona State highly ranked Sun Devils?
Good, Malt.
USF. That's just, they're rolling. I mean, did you guys see the video of the coaching staff running into the locker room?
Yeah.
They were going bananas. Like, you probably,
Yeah.
they were going nuts. Like, I don't know, there might have been something going on, like, within the programs there. Like, maybe they took somebody or they're recruiting all their guys, but.
Yeah, those were all the coaches coming from the press box, right?
They were going.
Yeah,
that was wild.
You see the Florida coaches walking to the left, and the USF coaches are doing a full sprint, jumping off the wall. Yeah. They're going nuts. But, I mean, 2 big upset wins against 2 ranked opponents. Their defense looks fucking great. And, I mean, they're rolling. Like, they're doing well. I'll take USF.
I agree. Mississippi State, great. That was a huge win for them. Again, just to get back to the whole thing, I think we can say this every week. Preseason rankings, to quote you, is a shuffling of the cards with the state of college football right now. So again, I don't know how good of an opponent Arizona State is at the moment. Time will tell. Again, I just think having watched that game, especially for me, factoring in Spitgate, I just thought that was awesome. And
Gotcha.
So,
all right, now
big
here we
time
go.
win.
Number
I agree
2,
with Malt.
quarterback heroics here. Would you rather have Sawyer Robertson's 440-yard, 4-touchdown comeback in Baylor's 2 overtime win, or John Mateer's dual threat masterpiece leading Oklahoma over Michigan?
Dude, you can't even say that with a straight face. You can't even say that with a straight
Whoa. Why?
Let him go.
Malt, can you, non-biased third party, Malt, can you answer this, please?
You don't want me to answer this.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
No, go, Kite. Answer your answer, coach.
I'm not taking Mateer. I don't think Michigan played good. I don't think their game plan was good. I'm sick. This whole thing. Listen, this kid's not winning the Heisman.
Can we get Texas, Oklahoma every week? One time.
So, Coach, so we know, obviously, and I finally
asked it. No further questions, Your Honor. No further questions, Your Honor.
No, I told you.
That's
it. I know the way it works now. You have 2. You are a fan of 2 teams in college football: the Texas Longhorns, and only them because I'm an Oklahoma fan, and whoever is playing Oklahoma. That is your fans. That is the teams that you like, because we're watching the game. Malt, we're watching the game, and you know what Kite is saying? When Michigan is failing in everything they're trying to do, man, we can't do a thing. We can't do a thing. We got to do this. I'm like, I look over, I go, who the fuck is we?
I
thought you were a Texas fan. And all of a sudden, it's like the smirk, like, yeah, I know exactly who you are.
Here's the deal. I didn't say we couldn't do a thing. I said we need to line up in 20.
We.
I did say that. Listen. I was rooting for Michigan. You know why? Because I can't stand the
Oklahoma. Because I like them. Yeah.
No, because listen, they're overrated, dude. I really feel that way. I hate Brian Bosworth, the sheriff of Fansville. Fansville's a shithole. The crime is running rampant in Fansville. He's gonna get impeached. People can't even sell their houses. They're trying to get out of Fansville so fast. Enough with Oklahoma. I'm picking Sawyer Robinson. Asked and answered. No further questions. Done. That's it.
All right, Coach Malt.
I'm gonna take Mateer. Sorry, Kite. I think he looks comfortable. I am a Michigan hater. I am. So, little biased take there to throw some shade at Michigan here. So, I thought Mateer looked comfortable in the pocket. I mean, when he was running the ball, it looked great. So I'll take the QB heroic in Oklahoma against the Wolverines.
There you go. All right. Now, here we go. Special team talk right here. Would you rather be the kicker who drills a 54-yard field goal to win the Cy-Hawk rivalry in Iowa State's Kyle Conradi, or the kicker who hits the walk-off field goal to upset the SEC power, upsets Florida, USF's kicker, Nico Gramatica. What do they call him? Automatica? I forget the name of his dad.
Come on, Z, you can do it.
Martin Gramatica from the old Bucks, infamous guy who blew his ACL out just jumping up, celebrating the kick back in the day. But, who would you rather have there? Which kicker would you rather be?
I'm taking the USF kicker. I mean, you beat the big brother at Florida. I don't know if he gets action on campus, but he's getting free beers and action on campus, okay? And he's going to remember this for the rest of his life. So,
yep.
And it will be a moment he'll never forget. So we'll take that all day.
I agree. I think that it's such a tough distinction between the two. They're both awesome. They're both clutch. So I'll go USF.
And listen, I'm going to add one thing to this, and I was leaving it to you guys, but the only reason I would agree, the reason mostly I would agree with both of you guys, is because I'm going to go out on a limb and say that when Nico Gramatica goes back to school at South Florida, there's going to be probably a lot hotter chicks for him than when ISU's kicker goes back to Iowa State. That's the only reason why.
I don't know, man.
And he did it.
I'm just going to go out on a limb that there might be some,
Iowa State kicker.
I don't want to knock the Iowa State girls over there, but let's be honest. We're talking about down in Tampa area. So, all right, here we go. Painful loss. Would you rather be SMU, flawless in the first half, but losing in 2 overtimes in a heartbreaker, or Florida committing 11 penalties to hand USFF that historic win?
This is a no-brainer for me. I'm going I'd rather be SMU all day. They a lot of great takeaways from their game. You know what I mean? They still have – I still feel like they have their conference in front of them. They have a lot to build on. They played well. Florida's a dumpster fire, in my opinion. Put it this way. There wasn't a ton of sloppiness and huge discipline issues with SMU. Florida, you had one of your best players spit in a guy's face and get thrown out of the game. You were a huge underdog and you lost. To me, no brainer. I'm going SMU. That's not even a close one.
Yeah, I like it.
All righty. Okay, now here we go. We always say defense wins games here. We say championships, but for this, would you rather be part of Mississippi State's defense making 2 goal line stands in the fourth quarter, or Iowa State's defense sparking the rivalry win with a pick 6?
Yeah, Malt.
Michigan State's defense. I mean, 2 goal line stands.
Mississippi, you mean?
Fourth quarter. Mississippi State, yeah. Mississippi State's defense. 2 goal line stands in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's one way to win a freaking football game. And they beat a non-conference opponent for the first time in 15 years. That's big time for the program.
Yep.
I mean, hopefully they get it together. But the quarterback's pretty good. I like him. He's freaking dual. So give me Mississippi State's defense all day.
I'm going. I'll take the opposite here. I'm gonna go Iowa State, man. I mean, defense have struggled throughout the game, right? Goal line stands, amazing. Defensive line, we're all defensive tackles here. We all love a good goal line stand. Nobody more than me, but I don't know, dude. The defense on display in the Cy-Hawk was awesome for both teams. I feel like the Cyclones had some great pressures, and it was just a great team defensive effort throughout the whole game to win a huge rivalry game. You know what I mean? And you out defense the defensive team, right? You think of Iowa, and they're just
good quote there.
What I'm saying? You think of an Iowa helmet, and I just think of a black helmet with smears all over it from opposing teams' face masks. And the Cyclones went in there and I thought outperformed defensively. than a very good defensive team to win, you know, for them a huge rivalry game. So I'll go advantage Cyclones there.
All right. All right, moving on to next week in college football, week 3 showdowns.
Good
You know,
one.
our top 5 picks that we pick as far as what we think of the games that are going to be the big ones. And
This is a
obviously,
huge week, man.
yeah,
Week.
It's
big game at Rocky Top, baby. Neyland Stadium. Been there. What a friggin' crazy place. What an intimidating environment. And number 6, Georgia Bulldogs roll into Neyland. And, I mean, like we said it last week, and we can say it now, who is even talking about Georgia right now? And
No.
You know what? Georgia's like going to knock on the door, in my opinion, and be like, don't forget about us right here. We're kind of pretty good. You know, I think it's the most, anticipated game of the week. And, you know, Rocky Top is a great place to play. And let's be honest, Rocky Top has been Tennessee this year, the last couple of years, led by former Oklahoma great quarterback, national champion in the 2000.
I mean, Malt, you got
Josh
to be getting sick of
Heupel
it, dude. We're in
taking
week
his
2,
high.
and we're already getting sick of it.
I'm just bringing up who's the coach. Bringing up his high-powered UT team. And listen, I'm just going to say this with this game. Tennessee came into Oklahoma last year and spanked them. Josh Heupel's I think he's a real good offensive football coach.
Awesome
And
coach.
I have mad respect for him for how he handled his quarterback situation in the spring with Nico.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a loser. I'm going to call him that. I'm a loser. Nico, I'm a loser, who is basically trying to get money out of other teams to leave or try to make Tennessee pay more money for him. And then, you know, big shout out to Oregon's Dan Lanning. Hears about this, gives a call over to Josh Heupel, who says, yo, your quarterback's shopping himself around, like trying to get more money, and you're a top team, and he's trying to and he goes, oh, he is really. He calls him into the office and says, son, get the F out of here.
Awesome.
Boom. Love it to death. Goes and he leaves, and who cares where he is now, but he looks like crap, so who cares? And their quarterback, Joey Aguilar, is coming in, and listen, he's making everybody forget about Nico, I'm a loser, leaving, and trying to be a scammer. So what do you guys think about that game coming up?
Listen, man, go ahead, Malt.
I think the spread's 3.5. So there's no respect for Georgia in this game. Kirby Smart has won 8 straight games against Tennessee, all by 14-plus points.
There we go.
He has, whether they're home, away, he has spanked them. And
why is the spread so low then, man, right?
Tennessee's offense has been through the roof this year, but like you said, no one's talking about Georgia. I mean, it kind of seems like a trap. I'm going Georgia because I think the Bulldogs are coming out there and they're going to freaking – Tennessee always chokes at some point. And I'm taking Georgia because
Georgia's the sleeping giant right now in the SEC.
They're going to be
and you know what? Like, Kirby Smart is a smart man. He loves it because I just feel like he's painting it in a way that he's using it as motivation for his guys. Look at you. You're being overlooked. People think this team's better, that team's better. We're Georgia. Like, again, he can't lay in the weeds for too long. And I feel like this week might be the week where everybody says, oh, wait a second. Remember these guys? And again, and also, too, you got to love Kirby Smart, man. He is a very intense, animated, preps his team, gets them ready to play. I love it. I think Georgia's going to come out and I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be potentially a statement win for Georgia.
And one thing I'm going to add to this, guys, which I always like to use this quote of the unstoppable force against the immovable object. So you have Tennessee coming in here, has scored 117 points in 2 games this year with 1,200 yards of offense, going against Georgia, who's given up 400 total yards and 13 points in the first 2 games. So I guess we're going to find out which one of those parts, which side of the ball is going to win that, and that's a great battle right there. We can't wait to keep an eye on. All right, next matchup. Listen, here we go. what are they going to be? Another marquee SEC matchup over here. LSU hosting the Florida Gators. And what is Florida going to be? What type of Coach Kite would say fight level do they have coming into this game? What do you guys think?
I'm like, honestly, this game leaves me a little bit to pull out a great Coach Wolfism. This game leaves me a little bit cold. You know what I mean? Like LSU, I feel like LSU should be in the discussion of national champ every year with just the players they get. They fall short of that. I think LSU will definitely handle Florida. I don't think Florida is a great team. Again, I could be wrong. It's early on. They had a huge loss. How do they respond? Again, we'll see. We'll see what type of fight level, scrap level these guys have. I just think LSU takes care of business, man. I really don't think it's going to be a challenging game for them, but who knows? I'm going LSU.
Right.
Yeah, I like LSU. I mean, they first time starting out 2-0 since 2019. I mean, they got the good quarterback, their defense, talent all over the field. Florida's got to bounce back here. They're definitely hungry. I mean, the spread sits at 8.5. I think that's a little much. I mean, it could get out of hand if Florida comes out on discipline and everything, because hopefully LSU. But it's Death Valley for Napier. It is.
And
it's
the
Death
one
Valley.
thing about this game, which with LSU defense, first two games giving up 420 yards in two games to Clemson and Louisiana Tech. So which Florida team's going to show up? One thing about this game, DJ Lagway is a little banged up, but he's expected to play. But if that could be a factor too, whether if they lose their quarterback too, then that game could, like you said, Mark, can really get out of hand. All right, moving on down to in the ACC, a battle this week of number 12 Clemson Tigers driving up to we're down to hot Atlanta, to play the Georgia Tech Rambling Wreck. Big battle over here, 9-game win streak for Clemson over Georgia Tech. This is the rivalry renewed over here. And, one thing watching this game and one thing I've always, saw about with Georgia Tech, and I did a little study on it. I should say study, a little background, is why do they call Georgia Tech the Rambling Wreck? That's like one of their nicknames, the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech. And I found out that in the early 1900s, it was basically because of their students were like the big engineering school, were basically fixing a lot of cars and things in the area. And they were like known to be able to fix old clunkers and stuff. And they would call them, look at the Rambling Wrecks coming out of Georgia Tech. So that's kind of where that came from. And then in 1961, the school basically just adopted a 1930 Ford Model A coupe that's painted gold and leads Georgia Tech onto the field every home game from 1961 to now at Bobby Dodd Stadium. So that's a pretty cool thing. And what are you guys' opinion on this game?
I'll tell you what, man. I like Georgia Tech, and I'll tell you why. I like their offense. I think we live in a day now of like 20 personnel or spread, right? Kind of like finesse offense, fancy Dan. A lot of guys go. Georgia Tech does a lot of different stuff, a lot of misdirection, explosive. They'll do some of that stuff, but they run a lot of these misdirection.
Quarterback run game too.
Quarterback run game's awesome. I think Hayes King is a stud. And I think that he is like a type of dude where he gets in these games and you got to kill him to beat him, right?
Yep.
Great, opening game against Coach Prime, primetime game. The guy played great. He gets hurt. I want to say it was like a lower body injury. They have a freshman quarterback come in. Aaron Philo, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He comes in again. It's against Gardner-Webb, but they 59-12. This offense puts up a lot of points. They're explosive. And Clemson, I think they if Hayes King plays especially, right, which I think he's supposed to, I think Clemson could be in trouble.
It's a trap game. I mean, 12 ranked Clemson going on the road, it spreads only 3.5. I think it's a trap.
Georgia Tech's exciting, man.
I think Georgia Tech's going to come out, and I think they're probably going to win this game. I do. I definitely do.
Right. All right, next game we're going to talk about over here, which I'm going to add my couple of a family view for me and a family thing that I'm excited for is the number 16 Texas A&M Aggies coming into South Bend to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And my point in this game is my son is a corpsman in the Navy, and he is greenside with the Marines, and he is going to be in the flyover going over the field at Notre Dame Stadium with his Marine Light Attack Helicopter Squadron 269, the gun runners out of New River Air Station in North Carolina. The motto is protect the innocent, punish the guilty, and they are going to be, my son is excited, doing the flyover. They're rolling in there on Friday night, getting ready for this game on Saturday night, and my son is so pumped up for this. It's a whole weekend for him, so I'm happy for him. But this game, I mean, listen, as big as that is for me and my family, the game is even better. I mean, you have some big things in this game. And I know I'm not going to talk much. I'm going to leave it to Kite because I know exactly what he's going to say. So you guys, give me your stuff on this game.
Go ahead, Malt.
Let's go, Max. That's big time. Big time. I hope you enjoy it. But home opener for Notre Dame, 7-2 last year at home. I mean, you got to keep Marcel Reed in the pocket. You have to. Cannot let him run around, do his thing. I mean, Texas A&M's defense is supposed to be a little bit better than it has been this year. But hopefully it comes out to play here. Notre Dame, can you feed Jeremiah Love? Is it that hard to ask for?
You took the words out of my mouth, dude.
Me too. That's why I was leaving it for Kite, man.
Jeremiah.
My God.
Darnell Love. If you do not give this kid the ball 20 times or more, hand in your whistle, dude.
30 times, in my opinion.
He's terrifying. He's one of these guys where he runs and he just jumps over everybody. He runs so fast, he looks like he's going to friggin' take flight. He can't get him down. And I don't know what they're saving this guy for. Like, honestly, give the kid the ball and let him win you the game. You don't have to worry about Texas A&M's offense because they'll sit their ass on the bench the whole night. You know what I mean?
That's what they need to do.
It's wild. And I mean,
just think I don't understand knowing what Notre Dame was last year. This year they're coming out here a little bit fancy Dan, in my opinion, for their style of football and their backs that they have. I mean, if you're going to be fancy Dan and Notre Dame, you got to put these two running backs in the backfield at the same time. If you want to run 20 personnel, you do that, and you have both of these backs feeding off each other, or you just line up Jeremiah Love behind a tight end and a fullback, and you just friggin' pound him.
Or all your NFL offensive linemen. Notre Dame is an NFL offensive lineman factory.
O-line you could basically call them.
They are so well coached. They recruit great kids. They have talent. And what are we doing? Give this kid the ball. I just want to add in. This is great for Max. Can't wait to watch it. I mean, if you know Max, he's just an amazing guy. Right now, he's got everything going for him. He's pumped up. He's yoked up. He's hitting a weight pile. He's going to have the flight suit working. He's going to have the mustache working. The women aren't going to be able to decipher him from Miles Teller in Top Gun. And he's going to have a great time, and I hope he has a great time and he enjoys himself. But let's be honest. This needs to be the Jeremiah Love show. And if it is, I don't think it's really a game, to be honest with you. I really think that Notre Dame possesses the ability to just lay on Texas A&M should they want to.
Yep.
If they run the ball, they should.
All right, we're going to jump up over here and go up to – now we're going to bring it up to Malt's Money Makers of the Week. So, Malt, what do you got for us here, bud?
So, last week we hit Oregon minus 27.5, minus 120 straight bet.
Did they double that, I guess?
Yeah. We hit Iowa State on the money line live to break the streak. We added a little Iowa State, Oregon minus 20.5 parlay plus 164. We hit that. We lost Michigan 7.5, but we covered it by hitting 14.5 at half. That big touchdown run was huge. So we went 3-1 on the straight bets last week, 1-0 on the parlay. This week we ride or die with the Ducks again until it's hard to cover. I mean, it's hard to cover.
Shocker, Malt. Shocker.
It's hard to cover 4 touchdowns in 3 straight games on the spread, but Northwestern just lost their running back. I mean, they're going to have to lean on their passing game, I think, more. And can we just get the Oregon-Penn State going? Because they got nobody good on their schedule. The only game I'm worried about for Oregon is Iowa, at Iowa. I'm a little shaky about that.
You have to. You know why? Because Iowa goes out there and they play spoiler. They got the Children's Hospital right behind them. There's this poor sick kid that everybody's juiced up to play for, and they go out and play spoiler every year to somebody.
Yep. So I'm going to go Oregon minus 27.5, straight bet. We're taking Duke because they had 5 turnovers last week against Illinois. 3 of them were on the other side of the 50 when they were driving. The quarterback has been throwing yards after yards every single game. He's been playing really well. He had like 397 yards passing last week. Like, I'm taking Duke over Tulane. The offense, it's minus 110. It's a pick 'em. Tulane started off the week at -3, and now Duke is favored by 1.5. So there's a 4-point swing there. So we're taking that. And then a 3-leg parlay, we're going to go with LSU money line, Georgia money line, and Oregon minus 20.5 at plus 185.
Sold. I'm sold.
Let's go.
All right, moving on now to I'm going to be giving our road runner of the week, which in our language is the offensive player of the week. And I'm going to have to give it to Sawyer Robertson of Baylor. 34 completions on 50 attempts, 440 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, led Baylor to that thrilling 48-45 double overtime victory over SMU, overcoming that 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter. So big shout out to Sawyer Robertson of Baylor.
Thank God, dude.
Malt.
I need somebody to get me warmed up here. So here we go. All right, here we go. With 10 total tackles, 4 first hit tackles, 6 assisted tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. Your headhunter of the week is Mac Harris, University of South Florida.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Comes in a major upset.
Damn. Nice. Right. Good pick.
So here we go. Fools of the week, just for those of you who don't know, that's Fools stands for Fraternal Order of the Offensive Linemen, something we hold in very high regard where we're from, right? Offensive linemen, they are the defenders, the protectors, the enforcers of their teammates. Something we consider, to be a very proud position. This week, I really, as much as it pains me to do, Z, get ready. I can't handle it.
Hold on, let me put on my socks.
You're right. Oh my God. But without further ado, this week's Fools of the Week are the Oregon Ducks. Let me tell you something, baby. 631 total yards, 312 yards rushing, 319 passing, 24 first downs. Could have been a lot more, but they had so many chunk plays, they didn't need to break it up. I thought they did a great job. Gundy poked the bear. Dan Lanning came out there, gave him the business, and he did it via their offensive line, in my opinion. Great pass protection, great run blocking, great all-around job. 100% not picking Oklahoma. It is the Oregon Ducks.
Let's go.
Good job, guys.
Good pick. Good
as
pick.
much as you were saying, Michigan's defense, all this, all that, defensive line is going to kill them. Whatever. Okay.
631 yards of total offense. Great job, Oregon Ducks.
Balanced offense. Balanced offense.
Right.
Balanced offense. Great job.
Playing the C team this week. That's right. All right. They might have been. I think they played Secaucus Prep. They might have played Secaucus Prep.
Can Northwestern say something so we can cover the spread? And Dan Lanning can break the scoreboard again.
All right, boys. Yeah, that would be good for you, Maul. Definitely. All right, man. Great show, guys. I think we did it all. We're excited to do this every week. We're having fun with it. So we'll be back here next week, same time. So make sure you guys tune in. And thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoy our show.
Have a
Good
great
job,
day,
boys.
everybody.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Yep.
Boomer. Gotta put on my socks.
Who picks the music?
Me.
Come on, dude. You gotta be a little bit non-biased with that.